What up, motherfuckers?
Hello.
So, today is we are covering a extremely bizarre movie that I love it. I like first off, I'm just gonna start off that Stuart Gordon is one of my all-time favorite directors. Probably he's definitely my top 3 up there with Clive Barker. Like, I love everything that Stuart Gordon did back in the day, from this to the Reanimator movies to and all kinds. And he always likes to use the same cast. Like, we've talked about that before with directors.
Yeah.
Like, Stuart Gordon always used fucking, Jeffrey Combs, which I love. I love him. He's one of my favorite fucking horror actors ever. Barbara Crampton, he used in a lot of his shit. My buddy Ken Faree was in this fucking movie. You had some big, they weren't like super big then. Some of them are much bigger now, but a lot of people are like, why is this? A lot of people don't like this movie.
Right. Like Stuart, as you know, Stuart Gordon's one of those directors. He just has his own signature. He just has his own brand, his own style. Like, I think if you've seen other of his movies, you have a bigger appreciation for this because it's just his style. If this is the only thing you've seen of his, you may, it's just, you may get it, you may not. It's just he's one of those guys. He's one of those directors, I feel.
Right. So you gotta think, Stuart Gordon loves to redo H.P. Lovecraft stuff. Now, for some of you book readers out there that like bizarre ass books, H.P. Lovecraft is like the man, because his shit is wild. And Stuart Gordon likes to do stuff based off of H.P. Lovecraft novels. And this is one of them, just like the Reanimator. Now, one thing you're always going to get with Stuart Gordon: tons of fucking gore and tons of effects.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of practical effects and shit tons of gore. Oh, and titties. You're always going to have titties.
You said
it. I only recall 2 titty scenes in this movie.
Yeah, and it wasn't a lot in this one. This one was a little bit more... Well, it's his... There's never, like, outward like shit tons of titty in his movies. It's always just little scenes here and there.
But this movie had a red room.
Wrong show, dear.
I know, but I'm just saying. I was like,
It
what up, man?
Man,
Up, Ben.
So the movie is out there.
yes.
Like, I get the concept. Like, I totally get the concept of it. But it is fucking wild.
Yeah.
The creature effects were great.
Yeah.
Most of it. She was just like tripping balls over here watching this movie.
were you watching this sober or were you watching this,
Oh
after,
no,
you know? Oh,
She
really?
was sober.
Throwing back a little bit of, tonic.
Could you imagine watching that movie on shrooms?
no.
Imagine watching any of Stuart Gordon's movies on shrooms. Jesus, like that would just screw me up, I think.
The whole time I was just like,
I've always loved the movie. I watched the movie relatively young. I know I was a teenager the first time I seen From Beyond. And I remember getting it on VHS and renting it and going home and watching it. And I just remember as a kid, I was just like, because I actually watched that. That is what actually made me discover Reanimator, was from that movie. Because I watched From Beyond first.
Yeah.
And then I watched the whole. Now, actually, Reanimator, I was a little bit older by the time I found out about Reanimator and watched that. But I actually prefer Reanimator over this. But this is still a fucking amazing, at least to me. But nobody likes the movies I like, so maybe Mike might be the only one that's somewhat
did I ever
like.
say that I didn't like it?
No, but you're kind of giving me that vibe that you're like.
No, yeah, you know what? I think. No, I think I'm in the minority in this. I've never been as much. I like Stuart Gordon's style. I can appreciate it, but the Reanimator movies just never quite did it for me. I like Dolls. I like this. It's just, and I like Jeffrey Combs. It's just Reanimator. I don't know. I don't know. I just couldn't get into him. And yeah, I know there's a few sequels. It's just, again, I can appreciate the style, but just as a movie, I'll take Dolls. I'll take this. Some other stuff he's done, like over the Animator movies. I know. I think I'm one of the few. I'm probably in a crowd all by myself on that one.
Possibly. I think Dolls was one of his earlier movies, because Dolls is definitely not quite in the typical Stuart Gordon style by any means. Now, I love Dolls. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, I got a fucking Dolls tattoo, so I mean, I like the movie. All right, Mojo.
Oh, Doll, right. I think you're right. It was one of his earlier ones.
I can see the
very
look on
few
your
Doll
face.
movies have.
Well.
No, and I think there's a lag on my part too.
I don't like this movie.
No, I'm saying
I didn't like the story. It was all over the place. Don't like it. I'm on the complete opposite end. I know this.
Hurts
No.
my heart.
2 thumbs down. Like, seriously?
Question. This
Well,
movie or Slaughter High? You had to pick one.
I think I would go Slaughter High because that was ridiculous. What I just watched.
Ouch! God damn!
That was ridiculous.
Damn.
I like the gore. There was some gore in there, but for moi, no.
I'm hurt. I'm so hurt.
I'm sorry. That's just how it goes. It wasn't my thing. I tried to got to do the scoring stuff, right? Like trying to think it all out. I don't know. I was trying, to listen. Hopefully I would like something, but I just couldn't get past that.
The thing out the head.
Yeah, it made no sense.
Literally.
I mean, it was cool when it got bit off. That was cool.
I knew that was coming. You said earlier it looks like a dick, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
It literally looks like a fucking clit coming out of his fucking forehead, like on
The little one, but the other guy, the one that where he's bigger, it looks like a damn penis, like especially right at the beginning.
Thing. But his head
at the
comes out the
beginning, when it
thing,
get
body
bit,
looking like a
It was
dick.
like, "Ugh." It looked all angry until it smiled. Oh, maybe it was both.
A whole new term to dickhead.
Both of their faces are just like,
What? Oh man.
Ouch.
I know.
Ouch.
Well, Stuart Gordon, he had an interesting career. He wrote or directed. I didn't even realize this. Like the Honey I Shrunk the Kids movies had a TV show for a while. He was involved in that. He did the Robot Jocks movie in the early '90s. If anybody saw that, like he definitely had his hand in a lot of different weird things. So he has his own. Interesting guy. Castle Freak. Did you guys see that one? There was
Castle
a
Freak's good.
that, I think.
I like Castle Freak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go look at this Castle Freak, and I hope it changes my mind because this was just no.
Hey, Kevin, we are talking about the movie From Beyond.
Stuart Gordon.
Castle Freak was good. Castle Freak was Full Moon Productions, which I was a big fan of Full Moon, and I know there's a bunch of movies that Charles Band was involved with, which Charles Band was also involved with this prior to like the creation of Full Moon Productions. I can't remember what they called it beforehand. It was something else before it became Full Moon, but I can't remember what it was that it was called. And of course, most people know that Full Moon, like when you hear Full Moon Productions, most people think of immediately Puppet Master. Because that's probably the most popular franchise that Full Moon Productions ever put out. Puppet Master, probably Dollman, Trancers, and Ghoulies were all Full Moon Productions. Now Full Moon's kind of gotten really, really crappy, but never heard of this. So it is an older movie. I can't remember when From Beyond was done. I think it was some point in the 80s.
Yeah, mid 80s.
It was 86.
Yeah, it was some point in the 80s.
86.
Yeah, it was 86. You're right. Like I said, I didn't see this movie till I was 12 or 13 years old whenever I seen it. Mm-hmm. I was kind of mortified with the Red Room scene. I remember seeing it and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
What? I was like, oh, we go in this direction.
I'm like, I can't wait for this to come up on the show. Wrong show.
Right? We're just waiting.
Well, it kind of can't because it was kind of a big part of the movie.
It was.
Huge part of the
Jokes on you guys. We're crossing over.
So for y'all that have not watched this, I'll kind of give you a quick synopsis of what it is. So this physicist and this other guy are researching some gland in the brain that they think that if they can get it to activate, that you would have this like sixth sense. So they create this resonating machine that supposedly activates a part in your brain, making you be able to see like stuff from like alternate dimensions. And supposedly they're there. It's like there's dimensions within our own world, but you just can't see them. They can't see you. It's almost like a spirit world type thing, but it's like an in-between dimensions. So they create this machine, and the vibrations causes your brain to activate. But over in this world, you can become something else. So this doctor that's like obsessed with it, he's obsessed with all kinds of fucked up shit. Like he's into BDSM and beating the shit out of women, and he was beating the fuck out of a girl on a damn videotape.
It's called a
Well,
flogger.
she liked that,
Some
by the
people-
way.
Yeah, I was say he wasn't beating the fuck out of her. He
You
just
were,
thought he
no.
just thought he was because he didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, and that police officer didn't know nothing. Or that one guy, whatever he was. I don't even know what he...
Oh, that's just too much for me. It's too much. Too much. Can't.
To each their own.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
But the doc was into it. And then
So
that,
anyways,
Come on in there.
so apparently it also activates like elevated sexuality and shit like that. So it was like it's like this sci-fi fantasy horror that kind of crossed over and brought like an essence of Hellraiser into it, kind of.
Yeah.
Um,
There's some Lovecraft
An
stuff in there.
alien twist.
Yeah, it's very bizarre, but this doctor is obsessed with this other dimension, and he supposedly gets killed, which he didn't. He did, but he
Transformed to the other side.
went to this other dimension and became this master of the dimension, and he's
Right.
fucking terrifying.
that was very Jennifer Coolidge of you. Can you do a Jennifer Coolidge impression?
I don't know.
Yeah, yes, there was
Can't wait to
titties.
find out.
Yes, there was titties.
Yeah.
Kevin, you can actually watch it for free on Tubi. So it's on Tubi. That's where we watched it. It's free. Most of Stuart Gordon's stuff is on there. Like I think all the Reanimator movies are on there. I know Dolls is on there. From Beyond is on there. I think some of his other stuff is on there. So check him out. Like I said, I love his stuff.
Mhm.
But anyways, so the first guy gets supposedly murdered. They try to blame it on the physicist. He goes to a psych ward. This other doctor comes in, and she's interested in figuring it out because she thinks that if the shit is true, then she doesn't think that he murdered this person, and she wants to set him free. But in reality, she wanted to use it because she thought that there was some way that she could cure schizophrenia with it, and she got obsessed with it, like the fucking doctor did.
Yeah, we need to talk about that too.
Because her dad was locked away for schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And that's why she wanted to find out whether it worked.
That's not what I saw she was trying to find out. I never had a doctor do that to me before.
What? Damn, I can't do it on this show. It's not on this show. I'm gonna have to create something for that for this show.
Why can't you do it on all of them for the same sound? Because it's the same thing.
I mean, I guess I could.
I'm
but
on all of them.
You are. So, yeah, go ahead and explain. Go ahead and explain what she became. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's all you.
A tramp. That's what she became.
God damn.
They're grabbing on his junk. Come on. He's all laying there, jacked up, and she's like,
After she opened the cabinet and saw all the fucking leather shit in there, and then ended up touching it, sniffing it, and touching herself, and then put the shit on.
panty sniffer. Yeah.
And then went over there and was groping him and fucking, oh my god,
Yeah.
dude. The seat where she
And he
was
just
like,
laying there like it was
shit
nothing.
And was like, I was like, really?
I will definitely check it out, Kevin.
Yeah, they really fucked me up with this shit.
Yeah, that scene was kind of uncomfortable. I remember watching it for the first time, and I was like, "What the fuck is this bitch doing?"
She a freak. That's what that is.
She was getting freaking
That shit turned her
That's what
into
she
a
was doing.
freak.
And then she's like, "No, it's me." Well, then who is it? Because that's your hand.
She's like rubbing
That's
the
his thing.
leather on her face and grabbing her titty and
Right.
shit. I'm like, leather does not turn me on like that.
It doesn't feel very good.
No, especially if you get sweaty. Like,
Right? And then you get like rough burn.
This is the wrong show.
Or the like burn.
This is really about to turn into the wrong
Could you imagine
show.
Could you imagine if she was wearing that leather up there with the monster when they got them covered in gallons of KY lube? That leather would have been so damn.
Can you imagine the amount? Because that's all it looked like. He was secreting fucking.
I want to know how much of that stuff they actually had to use.
Is that what it was?
Interesting to know. I mean,
is that what it was supposed to be?
It was.
Was that supposed to be like primordial ooze, or was that supposed to be like him covered constantly in jizz?
I mean,
think about it.
Into interpretation, maybe. I mean,
think about it.
A little too clear to be jizz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Male.
It was clear.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Clear. Like shit.
So
tons.
it's primordial ooze.
Yeah.
But that's still kind of weird because how it's tied in. It's just.
But it could be like, what's the word?
Well, I mean, they are alien-like things, right? So I mean, I guess they kind of freaking
Damn. Wrong show.
I mean, I think they wanted it. I think they wanted the ooze to kind of be like
jizzy.
Yeah.
Put some color in that or
phrase.
something.
It's like not an homage. It's like like a.
You need some antibiotics.
We need a thesaurus right now.
I want to know how many I mean, there's no way.
They probably used gallon buckets of fucking lube.
I've never used lube. Is that like really like that, like stringy and shit?
No.
I thought that was like a little more watery, like Aquaphor kind of.
If you go into the dollar store, maybe Dollar Tree brand.
Is it really like that oozy? Like,
it's like jelly, depending on what kind you get. It's like gel. Why? You want to ask questions? I got answers. Let's go, bro.
I'm asking.
I'm
asking.
This is not for the TV show. This is not for the show.
I mean, obviously it is because they fucking use buckets of it during the fucking thing.
Use it. It was like a jelly. I bet you they used that, like, the stuff that you would put for canning, like the gelatin stuff. Make it all.
I was thinking like corn syrup.
That would be very sticky.
It's like, hey, we need to shoot the next scene. Where's my cameraman at? You hear like a noise in the back of the room. Like, give me 15 minutes.
I mean, there was a masturbating man in the very beginning of the movie.
There was.
Sound and all.
It like flew.
Everywhere. ASMR.
This is a very visceral movie that hits like all your senses. You can just like
it makes you wonder.
Some senses, all right. I mean,
it gives you get a nice like it's like mashup of it's like a Lovecraftian horror boner watching this fucking movie.
I mean, it is Lovecraft adaptation of a Lovecraft,
Right. I mean, it's you can notice the influences in there with everything. But I mean, it's again, Gordon has his I can't think of anybody else.
I think he took Hellraiser to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that's where Clive Barker got his ideas from, was like off of fucking H.P. Lovecraft and just like more blood and less.
No, absolutely. I'm pretty sure I've read that someplace.
Primordial ooze.
Sure,
Ghost jizz.
Yeah.
Wrong shit.
Ghost jizz.
That was alien.
Reminds
jizz.
me of the movie last week, Poltergeist, but the scary movie version. You know,
Poltergeist was more like pale grape jelly
right? But I'm saying,
with like Arby's roast beef in it.
It looked
but
like
I'm saying the scary movie version where the girls whoever the actress is on the ceiling, right, getting like like I'm talking about the scary movie version of that, the parody they did for some of the.
I mean, really, the goriest scene of the whole thing is when the sergeant gets eaten by flying ticks. It's kind of what it looked like.
You're like,
That
what the
was
hell is all
gross.
this, huh?
I don't know what the heck that was. Yeah. That was a little freaky.
Flying.
You think that's gorier than dude ripping his fucking face apart?
Well, no, but I mean, there was
When
no
it
like.
ripped his head off and twisted.
Yeah, that was nasty, but it was like there was no like blood, like no buckets of blood. It was just flesh and ghost jizz.
Yeah.
And then that giant worm fucking like halfway swallowed homeboy and he came out looking like a goddamn naked mole rat.
Powder.
He was coming out.
Jesus Christ.
It's the first thing I thought of was Powder. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I used to love that movie, by the way. I'm not knocking it. I love that movie.
Yeah, I love it, but it is bizarre. Like if you're not into some,
it's fucking weird.
Anything that's considered like body horror is going to be very bizarre. They always are. I mean, look at The Fly. Yeah, it's got a set. I mean, they all have set storylines, but body horror is very, very bizarre.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Like, I think I've even mentioned a couple times, body horror has never really been my go-to. But that being said, like The Fly, I like because it's a different kind of body horror, I mean, but it has to. It's sci-fi, a little bit of sci-fi in there. It has to, some people. I mean, I think I've read. I don't agree with it, but some people think that like Hellraiser is body horror. But I don't know.
No, Hellraiser is definitely not body horror.
No, I don't agree with that at all. Maybe they were talking about, turning into Cenobites and what, but I don't agree with that at all. So pure, just.
I mean, Hellraiser, I would just consider like fantasy horror. I mean, they're demons. I mean, that's all they are. They're fucking demons.
Yeah. I definitely would not put that in the same category as The Fly, let alone just your other. Let alone what's that movie? The Stuff or those just those other ooze movies. Yeah, I mean it's no. Or is it not? I would not consider
Stuff is a good movie, though. I love that. But I don't know. I guess I do like body horror just because of how fucking weird and bizarre.
It is weird. It's weird.
Disgusting and gory because it takes gore to like a whole new level. Now, before we get any further, we're going to take a real quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Right.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
All right. So now moving on into our favorite and least favorite scenes of the fucking movie. We know we got them. Even though you didn't like the movie, there's got to be some scene that you're like, okay, that's cool. Like, as far as, like, effects and gore and shit like that.
Are we going to, like, do different categories of that, or are we just going to do whatever?
Just whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. You can go first.
I don't want to go first.
Why?
Because that puts me on the spot, and I don't like that.
You'll be fine.
Okay, well, we can go with favorite first, because that's the only one I can really remember. My favorite scene is when that fucking doctor died, when he fucking sucked her brain out of her eye because she deserved it.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I'm just
one.
I'm admiring the intenseness of this. I'm admiring.
Yeah, Dr. Karen.
Whatever her fucking name was.
I don't know what her name was.
It was like the first, like it's first scene she was in. I was like, I don't like her.
Right?
I did not like her.
She was
at all.
annoying.
She was a fucking cunt, is what she was.
She was.
Damn.
Hussy pants.
Woo! She pulled out the 4-letter C word.
I told you.
She was a cherry?
Yeah. Fucking cherry. Yeah. She was a cherry. Way to bring that one back. Damn. Least favorite scene was probably any scene with the fucking doctor that lost his shit. Fucking with the big body and his head sticking out like a fucking dick, and all it was his head, like with his face.
Yeah.
With his little clitoris hanging out. Like that thing, like dripping.
I was thinking that.
I was like, I don't.
I was thinking that same thing too, actually.
It's like premature ejaculation.
Yeah. I was thinking that.
It's kind of clear.
It was over exaggeration station. That's what that was.
Oh shit! All right, Mojo, what you got?
Well, the exaggeration station is my spot too. Don't like that one either. That one's nasty and disgusting. Don't like little penis heads. Not my thing.
Why not?
But one of my favorite scenes is when that little thing was coming out of the forehead and she just bit that shit right off.
I was waiting
gory.
for it.
It
I
had
was like,
some
that's
blood.
gonna happen at some point.
That was
Yeah,
rude.
and then it was just like all of a sudden gone. She only bit it off part of the way, not all the way. So what happened to the rest of it?
It went back into his forehead badge.
Listen, exactly. That's what I was about to say. That's why it's a fucking clip, because it retreats back into his fucking little slit in his forehead.
So it turned into
like a
one
baby vagina on his forehead, and his clip comes out when he's excited.
This movie would have been fun to
The
watch.
being on a string.
It's the string.
That was
Has there ever been?
good.
Has there ever been like a documentary or like a behind the scenes or like a Q&A with about just for people can be like what the like just
there is. It's on YouTube. There's a Q&A with like Barbara Crampton and a few other ones. All right, what was the scene that you didn't like absolutely hated for whatever reason?
Who are you talking to?
You, Mojo.
I already told you. I didn't like the whole penis head thing.
Oh, just the giant dick.
Yeah, it looked stupid. Like it was over exaggeration. That's really what it was. If they would have just stuck to a little bit of basics and not overdo it and actually make the storyline not jump all over the place, I might be able to get into it a little bit more. But they didn't. They were reaching. I just feel like they were reaching too much. Just too much. And like,
well, I mean, it had a storyline and it stuck to it. It just didn't go like they kept it very basic and they just stayed into like one plane. They didn't go anywhere else with it.
yeah, it was just odd.
Right. So what you got, Slash?
Ooh.
Slash it up.
I mean, I already told you I'm not 100%. I mean, I think I'm echoing Kitty's dislike. I mean,
That's a 3-striker.
there's nothing really. It's hard to say. It's such a weird movie. There's nothing like to me significantly worse than others, but I could go with that. But what I do like, I think you said that. I think you made a comment about this. What the what the getting to eat, was it the ticks, right?
Yeah.
It's different. It's different. You don't see that every day. I mean, a lot of the shit in this movie you don't see every day, but that was fun. Again,
I'm not
it's
ready
just
to ask you what you see every day.
The worst for me was that old grandma that lives across the street. Her acting was fucking horrendous. And when she was like
So nosy.
walking down the stairs and he's like running, it's like a damn fucking almost like slow motion with him passing her. And she's just like, it's like, what are you doing? Waddling down the fucking stairs? Like you're supposed to be running and you're taking goddamn 25 you're taking 25 fucking minutes to go down 2 flights of stairs, and he's done beat you, and he's all the way down the street, and you're waddling down the goddamn stairs like you're fucking Danny DeVito penguin from Batman. Well, she was.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
I mean, fuck. I mean, and plus her acting was just horrendous. It was.
That is.
I know why it was there. Like, I know that they're trying to make her a little bit of like comedic relief in it because Stuart Gordon always has some type of underlying like comedy to his stuff to a certain extent. But like that was just that was hard to watch. That was hard to watch.
Tis a bold statement. Tis a bold statement.
I guess my favorite, and it was probably the most uncomfortable scene. No. I do have 2 other scenes. I have a favorite. I guess my favorite scene was when they first called him, and it was really uncomfortable. He's like, fucking come touch me if you like it or whatever. And he like touches him and like his skin molds in like that fucking like foam, like that sea foam shit that when you were a kid that you could like press your fingers into and it like mold or whatever. I don't know why I liked the scene, but it was uncomfortable. And he was like covered in that fucking ghost jizz and I don't know. It was strange. It was bizarre, and I like weird shit. So I don't know. It was just out there. Now the most uncomfortable scene that it just icked me the fuck out is when he's got her and he rips her shirt open. So the only time you really see titties during the whole thing. And the fingers started to fucking grow like fucking little like.
No, that was stupid. Yeah,
his little dick fingers.
Go get your fingers.
He's like groping her with the fucking dick fingers, and I'm just like, that is so uncomfortable. Like you can see the slime going all over her. I'm just like, oh, that is. I would have loved to have been there when they were filming that scene because I would have lost my shit. I would have been laughing too goddamn hard to even been on set. They would have had to like take me off the set because I would have just lost my shit.
That could be a good answer. Next time somebody asks you, hey, if you had magical powers for a day, or if you could do anything, what would you? Most people say, oh, I want to fly, I want to be invisible, blah blah blah. Like, nope, dick fingers.
He reminded me. It reminded me of that old like. You remember that weird cartoon on YouTube, fucking Salad Fingers?
I like rusty spoons.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it fucking reminded me of. It was just.
Things you watch.
Hey, I watched weird shit whenever the fucking internet first came out. Like, does anybody remember E-Bomb's World?
Oh, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
E-Bomb's World, Albino Black Sheep, 4chan. Spent a lot of weird time on 4chan.
Dude,
Yeah.
E-Bomb's World. We used to, but they had all the prank phone calls, right?
Yeah.
That was part of it, or the ring, not the prank, but they had all the sound bites.
There was all kinds of weird shit on there. All kinds of weird shit.
E-Bomb's World.
There was all kinds of websites of weird shit. That's how I found Salad Fingers, and I found the Charlie and the Candy Mountain.
We're on the Candy Mountain.
They're looking at us like they have no idea what we're talking. Just look up Charlie and Candy Mountain on YouTube. Just look it up.
No, the last time I looked something up.
It's fucking bizarre. It's just bizarre shit. I love the fact that they had. I always liked Barbara Crampton. She was one of my favorite actresses. I loved her in Reanimator. I've liked her in all the horror movies that she's done. I love, obviously.
I like Barbara Crampton.
I love Jeffrey Combs. He's a great horror actor. He does a really good job. He just has this. It's kind of hard to describe. He's got the same acting style that he does with every character, but he makes it like very believable, and he's very good at playing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like very good at playing crazy, and he kind of has it. I feel like he's got an acting style that's very similar to fucking Bruce Campbell. That just like that kind of over exaggerated, over the top acting that Bruce Campbell does. He does the same exact shit.
Would you consider it method acting?
No, because method acting means you the whole time you're
Well,
filming,
I know,
you
but
stay in
like,
character.
I know, but how do you think you can pull that off?
I don't know, unless he's just naturally crazy.
That's why I brought.
I mean, it could be. I mean, playing the Joker made Keith Ledger go fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and then he died.
What'd you say his name was?
Or whatever the hell his name is. I don't know.
Heath
Ledger. That's right. I don't fucking know.
Keith.
I don't know. I got close. I was off a letter. And, okay, maybe a few letters, but that's okay.
Two. We'll go with two. 2 letters.
We're going to get all technical about it.
I was close.
I'm weird about my fucking.
I was close-ish, okay? I was close-ish.
You were 2 letters off. You're fine. I'll give it to you.
Okay, thanks. Anyways, before we go into our ratings and all that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. Maybe. Where's the fucking commercial? Oh, there it is. Okay, my bad.
fucking animal whore. A fucking shark. Bitch, please, this fucking dildo with teeth is beating your ass. It took you 2 hours of film to kill a goddamn shark. Fucking Steve Irwin could have fucking showed up, took a shot at Jack, would have been like, crikey, you motherfuckers can't do shit. We're just gonna jump in there with a knife, take here, got its guts out, presto, you're dead. It would have been like a scene from 300, Crocodile Hunter, guts wrapped around him, screaming, "This is Discovery Channel!"
Anyway, so don't miss Hellfire Lounge. It was supposed to be this Saturday, but we're moving it to next Saturday. So, yeah, because Mojo's getting sick and we're down a bunch of people. So we're just going to push it back a week. The next one is we are doing our own comic book series and eventually animated film from Hellfire. That is just a small glimpse at one of the characters that will be involved in that, which is voiced by moi. So make sure to be looking out for that. The comic book will be out this year. The movie probably sometime in like late 2025. So keep an eye out for that. We also have Caffeine Injection starting next Thursday, which is going to be a early-ish show, 11 a.m. to noon Eastern Standard Time. So anyways, now we're getting to the point of wrapping this whole shebang up with our ratings. So I'll go first this time, okay? So you're not on the spot.
I'm gonna flick you.
I'm offering to go first.
Okay. I never go first. That was the first time I ever went
Okay, would you like to
first.
go first again?
And you rocked it.
How about no?
Okay. So
Let one of them go first.
I am going to say I loved most of the acting. I love the special effects, even as weird and uncomfortable as it is, and everything was covered in fucking ghost jizz. I really like this movie. I'm going to give it a solid 7.5.
Yeah.
Going 7.5. Had the gore.
Better get your calculator
Had
out.
the titties. It had a decent storyline. I can't really, there's a few things that I obviously would have changed, but that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with a 7.5. All right. What you got, Kitty?
Okay. Even though I wasn't really thoroughly impressed, I felt like the storyline was good, actually. So it was just fucking weird. But, like, I did kind of like the storyline. Just the fucking dude with the dickhead and his little clitoris. Like, that shit fucked me up. But I'm probably going to give it a 5.
Okay. What you got, Mojo?
I only have 3. That's all I'm giving. And the only reason I'm giving it is because there were titties. There was 2 of them.
Ass and titties. Cute song.
And some of the
We'll
gore was okay.
get
I
there
know.
for copyright.
I know, it was a joke.
All right.
So,
Slash, what's the Slash point of view? I know you got a spiel. Give it.
Yeah. So, and I kind of mentioned this earlier. Stuart Gordon just has his own stamp. I think any other director or most other directors, other actors too, I think the movie would just be a hodgepodge of just random bullshit and just like what the hell. But you have your horror staples, you have your Barbara, your Jeffrey Combs, your Ken, which elevates it to, your A-list as far as the horror genre goes, A-list people. You have Stuart Gordon who knows what he's doing, even though the movie is kind of random. But with him, he has a way to tie things together, and I do like some good practical effects. That being said, it's not quite my genre. I can appreciate it. That being said, 6.5.
6.5. All right. So, that being said, it gives it.
Oh!
It survives with a 5.5.
Ooh,
Woo! I mean, I'm okay with it.
but half a point.
It survives by half a fucking point.
Poltergeist survived by like what?
Point 1.
Point 1 or point 2?
Point 1. Yeah, point 1. It barely fucking survived. On that, we're done for tonight. Next week,
Oh boy.
we are going to get back into mainstream for a movie. Yeah.
Interest peaked.
We're going to do Clive Barker's Hellraiser.
Woo!
The original. So join us
my mom.
next Thursday. We're going to be doing Hellraiser. So join us then. Make sure don't miss the ladies on Tuesday night. They've got a new co-host that's going to be joining them from here on out. So check them out. I think they're finishing up a book series. No, not yet. Okay, not
We're
yet.
starting. We're doing the first 3 books of the
Gotcha.
series.
Starting a book series. Wednesday nights, Chronic Sports. We'll be back with something. Have no idea what the hell we're covering, but we're covering something on Chronic Sports. We'll be back Thursday. You got Caffeine Injection next Thursday coming for the first time. You got Hellfire Lounge finally coming. Stay tuned. Make sure to follow and share the shit out of us. Invite all your friends to come like the page. That always helps. On that, we love you guys. Have a fantastic evening. Have a great weekend. Bye.